Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of Docker, a tool that's transforming how software is built, shipped, and run. Let me start with a quick story. Imagine you are managing a project with multiple pieces, a Node.js server, a database like MongoDB, and a caching system such as Redis. Each part need its own setup, compatible versions, and a perfect operating system to fit in. It sounds complicated, right? It certainly was for me. A tangled web of dependencies that slowed everything down, a problem many of you probably know all too well. That's where Docker changes the game. So, what is Docker really? Docker is like the shipping container of the software world, just as containers standardized global trade, making it easy to move goods anywhere. Docker packages applications and all their dependencies into tiny portable containers. These containers run consistently whether on your laptop or a massive cloud server. Now, the magic happens because containers share the host computer operating system kernel but keep everything else isolated. So your Node.js server doesn't clash with your database system, and the best part, you are freed from worrying about which OS someone is using on their machines. I'll quickly draw a small diagram that way you can easily know what it was like. So let me. So the complex project which I was saying is there is a web server, a database, a messaging system, and one orchestration tool. So imagine this one is Redis. This is one. This is for orchestration, and here is one. All right. Now the web server they have used is Node.js Express. DB which sorry DB is MongoDB. Messaging is Redis. Orchestration is Ansible. So all these will have the common things as libraries, dependencies, OS, and hardware infrastructure. But These all can be fixed because these are all the dependencies, and everywhere whenever you take it, it will be difficult to manage, right? So how Docker will help here? I think some issue. Give me a minute. So if you see, I'll explain how we can do it using Docker, right? Imagine that this is a container. So here there are four containers. So in this again a web server, we have used Node.js, database, messaging, orchestration. Each one will have libraries as well as dependencies. Same for all these. So this will be on top of Docker, and this is OS, and the hardware infrastructure will be present. So the whole container, if you can move to any environment, there is no need to copy libraries, dependencies, everything, right? We don't need to worry whether they are using RHEL or Ubuntu or even Windows. That way, Docker will help us. So, what a container will have? Imagine this is a container. So, each one will have processor, network, mounts. The same thing for this container as well. This will be on top of Docker, and it will be placed on OS kernel. So the operating system or the software can be anything inside this, but the base layer they are creating the same thing. All right. Now, if you understood something by these diagrams, it would be good. If not, in this through practical we can understand more. So even you can say, what about the virtual machines? If there is some, we don't need to use containers, right? If we have virtual machines, so virtual machines will occupy large space, around some GB, but if you consider containers, it will be in MB. So their hypervisor we need to use here. Docker and OS will be present. So if you compare, Docker is the best solution for that. So you might be wondering what is Docker image. So consider, for example, this is the Docker image. What is Docker image? We can say this as package template plan, which is like a blueprint. So this Docker image, we can have multiple Docker containers. So these are the Docker containers. This is one, this is two, and this is three. So we can write the Docker image to run to customize these containers. I hope you understood so far. If you haven't, please comment in the comment section. I'll try to answer. Okay, so we were talking about containers versus virtual machines, right? You might wonder, aren't containers just like virtual machines? The answer is no. Virtual machines are like renting an entire house, great isolation, but heavy on resources and slow to start. Containers are more like separate apartments in a shared building, light, efficient, and fast. They start in seconds, save disk space, and let you run more applications on fewer resources. Now we can see the demo how to install Docker. So let's try to install in AWS. That way we all will be in the same page. I'm logging into the AWS. It's been a while I have logged in. All right, I have now logged in. Oh, now let's launch an instance. Maybe we can try with Ubuntu. I'm giving the name as Docker demo. Ubuntu is selected. Key pair. Maybe let's create a new one because I'm not sure where I have kept that existing one. Let's give it a name, demo. Okay, it was in the download section. Launch instance. Let's try to connect from here. or the better way is to connect in the git bash as I'm using Windows. So it will be like ssh-i. I kept it in the downloads folder slash demo.pem, and then we need to give the public DNS, or even if you click on connect here it will show. So this one we can give yes, permission denied. This might be because we didn't give the username right. Try with Ubuntu @ okay, we have now logged into that machine. Now just directly open docs.docker.com and click on get docker, and if you click on introduction concepts docker workshop, somewhere we can find the installation part. So docker desktop, we don't need docker desktop, right? We need docker engine. Just checking from where we can directly download. So yeah, click on manuals, and then if you click on docker engine, click on install, and I have launched the Ubuntu instance, hence I'm selecting Ubuntu. So which one you have, if you have installed, you can select that one. Even we can check by using cat etc os-release. So here if you see it's Ubuntu and ID is like Debian and ID is like Ubuntu. And if you completely scroll down here, you will see install using apt repository. You can either select that, or the best way is go here, install from a package, click on this. So here we have multiple. These are all the Ubuntu distributions. So if you see this one, version code name is Noble. So this is Noble. Release. Okay, got downloaded. Okay, that is one way. Go to pools table and select the architecture, download. This is one way. The other way is when I have copied some content. So okay, apt is the best way. If you scroll up, install using apt repository. Sudo apt update, it will update all the packages. Next, install CS certificates and curl. Okay, CS certificates and curl are installed. Now install the keyrings. Okay, now copy everything. It's done. Now install the Docker packages. Do you want to continue? Yes. Once it is done, verify that the installation is successful by running the Hello World image. Sudo docker run Hello World. So if you see, it has downloaded a newer image. Even if you want, I have one more. We can try that as well. So you can check this Docker version. Docker run docker whale say cow say we need to run using sudo. Oh, it is deprecated, I guess. Unable to find that image. That's fine. Anyways, we ran Hello World. I think this mission was stuck. Yeah, I would say that's the issue. If you simply say hello world, it will allow. Must be lowercase. If you want to see what are present, you can go to Docker Hub. So if you explore and if you search for whale, so if you see when we have the Docker file that we will explore anyways later, and if you just run this one, permission denied, I think because of sudo. Maybe we can try this one. We can pull this image and then we can run. What we can do is run as root user. Okay, it's deprecated, that's why. You can try any other. Some random one. So if you see this Docker run, the existing one we tried. So if you see this, when there are multiple, you can simply, if you want, we'll say this is Docker pull. Instead, check for Docker run. Okay, very good. Not available here. Downloaded newer image. You can simply run this. Okay, it's not working because they didn't add any code, right? So that way you can run the Docker images. And if you explore, there will be multiple. Slack is there, Postgres is there, right? This is the part of. So what we have done is we have installed Docker, we have verified which OS version. Accordingly, we went to the Docker manual page and then we have executed, and then we ran the first container. So we have seen a ASCII popped up as a curve, right? So what it did is Docker doesn't have the image locally. It pulls it automatically from the Docker Hub, the big container marketplace, we can say. So if what is Docker image and container? A Docker image is a snapshot or template containing your app and all it needs. Think of it like a recipe. A Docker container is a live cooked dish made from that recipe running isolated with its own environment. Let me repeat it again. A Docker image is a snapshot or template containing your app and all it needs. Think of it like a recipe. A Docker container is a live cooked dish made from that recipe running isolated with its own environment. If no image fits, you can write your own using a Docker file describing exactly how to build your app's environment, making it easy to share and reuse anywhere. Okay, why Docker matters? Docker solves the works on my machine. Mainly, Docker solves the works on my machine, but it won't work on your machine. Headache by ensuring everyone uses the same environment, whether you are a developer coding locally or a team deploying in production. It embodies the spirit of DevOps, bringing developers and operations together smoothly. You can even run Docker on cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or your own servers, making your applications flexible and scalable. So, if we have to conclude, this is just the beginning. As you continue, you will learn how to build custom images, orchestrate multiple containers, and master Docker's powerful commands. For now, follow along with the guided videos uploaded as a playlist. Master the basics step by step and open the door to a world where software packaging and deployment becomes effortless. Thank you for joining me today. Happy containerizing. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any queries, please comment below. Thanks for watching.